Hello students, hope you are doing well and I welcome you again in this AAA Practice to Pass webinar for September 2022 session, which is being organized by ACCA. And this is day 4 and this is the final day of this webinar series. And I am your trainer Haris Hanif from Tawani's School of Accountancy. First of all, I would like to make sure my voice, video, screen is all clear to all of you. Am I audible? My voice, my video, my screen? Please reply, all of you. All right. All right, students, now we are starting, or I should say we are resuming from the area where we had ended yesterday, and it was this question which we were performing. And I had told you that in your AAA exam, in your AAA paper, there is the example, there is a question number 2 and question number 3, in which there is a question that is comment on the matters and explain what evidence will you expect from your working paper file, right? What evidence will you expect from working paper file? You should write that thing. I had demonstrated this thing with an example yesterday in the day 3, and here is that I should show you the drafting style. It was the thing like matters, comment on the matters, and it covers matter, correct treatment, management accounting treatment. If it is correct, then it's okay. If it is not correct, then you have to explain the impact on the financial statements along with the X percentage of materiality. And you should use your evaluation technique, right? You should use your evaluation technique, and you should write a little RMM and a little response along with the procedures. Right now we are moving ahead for this example, and I had also explained what evidences will you expect in your working paper file and how to draft the answer. That is much more important. You are in the review stage. Assume yourself that you are the audit manager in the question, right? You are the audit manager in the question. You are the audit manager in the question. And you are reviewing the working paper files presented to you by the junior. The junior had performed the audit procedure. Now this is the procedure, this is the evidence, and evidence is the end result. Evidence is the end result, right? So I had discussed that how to write the evidence, For example, it was discussed with the management about the rationale of the booking. So you should write notes of the discussion held with the management showing the warrant assumption. And before going to resume this example of yesterday, I would like all of you to spend at least 1 minute by going through these differences. I am doing it zoom out. Please read this thing, procedure and the evidences. You should just think of the procedure and the evidences. Just read this thing once again, and so I will be resuming with my example of yesterday. Just spend 1 minute to study this piece. All right. Now, when you are writing the procedure, you should use your active tense. And when you are writing the evidence, you should use the end result. For example, it was written that inspect the BOD minutes to confirm the disposal of subsidiary. And while writing the evidence, you should assume that this procedure had been performed by your junior. And you are writing that copy of minutes of BOD meetings confirming the BOD authorization of disposal of subsidiary, right? And while discussing this procedure was performed by the audit junior, and it was discussed with the management about the rationale of provision to ensure the assumptions are reliable and the notes. And while writing the evidence, you should write that notes. What are you expecting? Obviously, when I am your junior, I am performing the procedure, so obviously you will be expecting the correct procedure performed from my side. You will be expecting the sufficient and appropriate evidences from my side, and that is the end result. So discuss with the management about the rationale. This is the procedure which I had performed. I am playing the role of the junior, and you are the audit senior. You are the audit manager. You are managing the entire audit. And while writing the evidence, you should write notes of the discussion held with the management, showing the valid assumptions related to the provision, right? So this is the way to write the evidences. This is the procedure to write the evidences. Yes, evidences are the end result with some documents, name, procedure, are active voice with the action words. Yes, Nazish, Khalid, you are right. Now, I'm going to just wait a minute. All right, now I'm going to display this example which we had done yesterday, and it was comment on the matters to be considered and explain what evidence you would expect during your working paper file, right? So just read this example once again. Read this example once again, please. All right, students, I hope you have read this case, and the question is saying that comment on the matters to be considered and explain the evidences. So I am going to read this example once again. It was that there was the explosion after the year end, and it was IS 10 adjusting and non-adjusting event. IS 37 says that when the asset when inflow is having the virtually certain, the probable chances, virtually certain, then you should book the asset. And when IS1 is also saying that you should write about the going concern disclosure. And we had written down the comments, right? I'm just reading the comments, that what comments you are supposed to make. You have to write the matter, correct accounting treatment. You have to write about the possible chances of risk of material misstatement. If management had did something wrong, what could be the impact on the financial statements? If management had done something correct, you have to write that this is the correct treatment. And so comment is that this is the explosion after the reporting year on January 2021, and this falls under the scope of IS10. And we had discussed all this thing, right? We had discussed this thing yesterday about the comments, and I want you people just to read this thing once again about the comments. Just read this thing. What are the comments actually? And now we are supposed to write the evidences which you are expecting, right? I'm just giving you 1 or 2 minute window. Please read this thing, which we had done yesterday. Have you people read this answer of yesterday? Please give me response in the question box. By the way, we had done this example yesterday. Can you people please respond me in the question box? Have you completed this thing? That's good. Now I'm going to type the evidences. I'm now going to type for the evidences, right? Now I am writing here evidences. It is the evidences. Now you will be placing the heading of evidences, and you will be writing like that way. Following are the evidences expected to be in the working paper 5. And I remember that I had given you people the assignment to practice it by yourself. And now I'm not going to type my answer, but remember one thing: while writing the evidences, you should think of the correct procedures. You should expect for the correct procedures, right? You should expect for the correct procedures. Now what is the thing? Let's say for example, if I am writing the procedure I will be assuming the correct accounting treatment. I had told you in the previous class. When you are writing the audit procedures, you are supposed to think for the correct accounting treatment, and you should chase that accounting treatment, right? Now, while expecting the procedure, you should similarly think for the correct accounting. You should similarly think for the correct accounting, the correct procedures which I had applied, and what evidences I will be giving it, and I will be presenting to the audit manager, right? Now, what evidences will you expect from me? What evidences will you expect from me? The evidences you would be, let's say, for example, let's start from the activity again. While writing the evidences, because this is the requirement which is very central and core to the AAA, because it is frequently examined, that what evidences will you expect in your working paper file. Again, I am guiding you to think from the activity. I am guiding you to think from the activity, right? From the activity. And one more important thing is that what was the event? The event, there was an explosion. Now, think from my side that if I am the junior and I have to apply the procedure, I will be writing like that way. I will be inspecting that place. Because when there is the explosion, obviously there are impacts on the walls. It would be of black color. It would leave the impact of the explosion. If there is the explosion and I need to verify, what I will be doing, I will be physically visiting over there and I will be observing the things. I am the junior, right? And what evidence I will be bringing it for you? I will be bringing the photographic evidences. I will be taking the pictures for you. You are the audit manager. So what evidence will you expect? You will be expecting the correct treatment. Right? You will be expecting the correct treatment. So the point to be noted is that what evidences will you expect from me? Photographic evidence of the explosion. Photographic evidence of the explosion, where the explosion was in the smallest of the 4 offsite storage location. So what evidences will you expecting it from me? Photographic evidence of the 4 offsite locations confirming the explosion occurred there. You will be expecting this thing from me, right? And the next one. When I had visited over there, definitely I will be having a discussion with the management. That management, your 4 offset locations had been damaged by the explosion. What's your next plans about the going concern and all that stuff? So management will be telling me their plans, and I will be noting it simultaneously, right? I will be noting it simultaneously. So what evidence we would be expecting? Notes of the discussion held with the management regarding their plans about the response to the explosion, and their plans regarding the going concern, right? This was the thing. Now, you know what? Many kind of losses are being covered under the insurance claims. it is not necessary that explosion is covered under the insurance. So I am the junior, I will be inspecting their insurance policies. I will be expecting their insurance documents, and I will be making the photocopy of it and will be bringing for your relevance. So definitely, what evidence will you expect? Copy of the insurance policies, copy of the insurance policy, not to determine, copy of the insurance policy which is showing the kinds of losses covered under the insurance, whether such kind of explosion is covered under the insurance, right? So you should write that thing. One more example. What was the losses impact? What was the impact of the loss? The impact was about 0.9 million. 0.9 million was the 0.9 million was the loss, and it is the loss of the inventory, property, plant and equipment. It was the loss of inventory, property, plant and equipment, right? Inventory, property, plant and equipment. One more important thing is that it was the loss which had been affected by the explosion, right? Now, if the management is claiming loss is 0.9, if the management is that your loss is 9, that's 0.9 is the loss of the inventory, it is the loss of the property, plant and equipment, it is the loss of the property, plant and equipment, right? It is the loss of the property, plant and equipment, and you should review the NCA register. You should review the NCA register. You should review the NCA register, and you should also review the inventory valuation sheet. You should obtain the breakdown of inventory valuation sheet. You should obtain the property, plant and equipment, the non-current asset register, in order to confirm that the losses were 0.9, because this is the claim which is being asserted by the management, and you should ensure whether or not it is correct. So if I am the audit junior and I need to apply the procedure, and management is claiming that they have got the loss of 0.9 million related to inventory, property, plant and equipment, right? So I will be inspecting, yes, show me the NCA register, okay, the loss is 0.6 for example. Now show me the inventory valuation sheet, okay, the loss is 0.3, and combine it is 0.9, whatever I'm assuming the figure. So this I had inspected, and I made a photocopy, and I will be bringing it for you for your relevance, right? And I will be bringing this for your relevance. So what would be the evidences? So the extracts of NCA register, you will be expecting this from me, that Mr. Haris Hanif, you will be bringing these evidences. So extract of NCA register, and also the valuation sheet of the inventory, and also the valuation sheet of the inventory confirming the losses of $0.9 million, along with the now point to be noted is that along with the I am the junior, and I had recalculated this. When I will be applying the procedure, what I will be writing, recalculate the NCA register figure and the inventory valuation sheet to ensure the mathematical accuracy. So extracts of NCA register and also the valuation sheet of the inventory confirming the losses of 0.9 million, along with the recalculated amount. Along with the recalculated amount, verifying the accuracy of the figures. Verifying the accuracy of the figures, right? Verifying the accuracy of the figures. 1, 2, 3, 4. I had written 4 evidences. Now think more. What is the impact? That they have recognized 0.9 million insurance. So you will have to discuss. I am the junior. Observe my body language as well. I am the junior. They have recognized this 0.7 million as the receivable in the current assets. So I will be discussing with the management. Discuss with the management why they have booked down the receivables, despite of the fact that insurance company had not responded you. So when I will be discussing with the management, I am simultaneously making the notes for your relevance. And one more important thing. I am the junior. I will be inspecting the correspondence. Listen to me very carefully. What is the correspondence? Correspondence is actually the communication held between two parties. This company and insurance company might have the interaction through emails, through written correspondence, right? The company might have written the email. The company might have written the email to the insurance company, and the insurance company had not yet given the response. So I should review the written correspondence, and whatever the written correspondence I will be inspecting, I will make the photocopy for your relevance, right? So what you will be expecting from my side, that is the notes of the discussion held, with the management. Detailing the explanation of the reasons of including the $0.7 million as receivable in the assets. Along with the written correspondence of that company with the insurance company, right? With the insurance company. Indicating chances of the of this should have been the right. So if I am the audit junior, I will be writing inspect and read the notes to the accounts to ensure the complete disclosure of non-adjusting event, about the going concern, about the inventory, about the damage, and what evidence I will be bringing for you. I will be bringing for you the extracts of notes. Because I have tested this thing, the completion of the notes, and you are the audit manager. I will be inspecting the notes and will be bringing for you because you are the manager in the audit firm. So what you will be expecting from my side, that is the extracts of notes to the accounts, showing the complete notes related to the explosion, impacts on going concern, details of the losses, including the monetary value. You need to show the monetary value, that this is the loss, including the monetary value, and any chance of recovery from the insurance company. All right, so these are the potential evidences. These are the potential evidences, right? Saiful Asghar, is it now clear? All right. So have you people understand this thing related to the evidences? Excuse me, please do tell me in the chat box. Did you understand this thing? Hello, students. I need a response from your side. Do you understand this thing, how to write the evidences? Please do tell me in the question box. Mr. Akil, it is, yes, it is all about the materiality we are talking about. So this should be the material thing. All right. So shall we move ahead? Now that's great. Now students, this is my answer and evidences. I have completed this. I have completed this answer, and right now I am moving towards the another aspect of the question. And this question which I'm going to start, that is very, very important, and because such kind of question can be examined, because it is covering various aspects. It is covering various aspects, the question which I'm going to start right now. This is the question from March, June 2016 paper. The question name is Macau Company, and this is a very, very important question. I really love this question because it is covering various aspects, and concerning this practice to pass webinar, this question is utmost important for you people as well, because it is covering the various aspects. Before going to start this question, let's talk about something here. First, you need to discuss here. Listen to me very carefully. Number one, who are you? You are the audit manager. You are the audit partner? Not at all. You are the audit manager. You are the audit manager, and right now, what's your role? You are playing the role of the audit manager. You are playing the role of the audit manager. You are playing the role of the audit manager. Number one. Number two, I am your junior, and I have completed the audit. I have completed the audit, right? I have completed the audit. Secondly, I have completed the audit with the quality. The word quality is too much important, because if I have applied procedures, that is the quality. If I have gained the evidence sufficiency, appropriateness, accounting standards, I have checked, I have discussed, I have applied relevant international standards on audit, that's the quality. What do you mean by the term quality? Quality is actually covering a lot of aspects. Quality is covering a lot of aspects. Now you are here that I have completed the audit, and secondly, you people are having actually a review of the quality of the audit performed. Secondly, you have to review the quality of the audit performed, right? You have to review the quality of the audit performed. Number one point is that. Number two, it's McCann Company, March, June 2016. This is the question. I'm not going to read it right now, because first we need to understand the requirement. Don't read the requirement, understand it, okay? This is exhibit number 1, and this is the requirement for 13 marks. The requirement for 13 marks. Please read this requirement at your pace, and so I will be reading it accordingly. Using the information contained in exhibit number 1, that is comment on the quality of the audit performed. On the audit performed, discussing the quality management, ethical and other professional issues raised. Quality of audit performed. Now one important thing is that's the quality of audit performed. What do you mean by the term quality of audit performed? That is tested ISS, IFRS, evidences obtained, compliance with ISAs, because that's the quality, right? If I am the audit junior, I have performed the audit with the required level of quality, so that means compliance with the ISAs. Secondly, I have devoted the time to the quality staff, the quality staff, challenging management, that's the quality. One more important thing, what is the audit quality? See that you should remember that auditor actually set the level of materiality. Auditor is actually setting the level of materiality in the planning phase. Auditor set the level of materiality in the planning phase, right? And when the things goes change during the audit, the revising thing, you should revise your materiality accordingly, right? So materiality plus its revision, materiality, that's revision plus revision. Secondly, revision of procedures, asking questions, skepticism and judgment, and etc. And the list goes on. I would like all of you to review these things. These are basically the quality of the audit. Right? This is the quality of the audit. And one more important thing is that you are supposed to review the quality of the audit performed, so that you are actually reviewing that thing. I am your junior, and I am bringing this thing in your into your attention. I have performed the procedures, and you are here to review the quality of the audit performed. Okay, so I'm just giving you few seconds to note it down, and see this thing once again, please. Have you people noted it down? Excuse me. Have you noted it down? Do you understand this thing, what I'm trying to say actually? Do you understand what I'm trying to say actually to you people? That these are the things. I am the junior. Please understand your role. Mr. Jazir Tariq, that's you have joined late. I have actually given the idea which question we are performing. So don't you worry, I'm explaining it again. Just capture the picture of it, Jazeb, Tariq. I'm just giving you 5 seconds window. Just capture it, please. Okay, and this is the question. Using the information contained in exhibit number 1, comment on the quality of audit performed. Comment on the quality of the audit performed. Comment on the quality of the audit performed. That means I am the junior. I have performed the audit with the required level of quality. I don't know. You are the manager and you should review it. Okay, you are the senior one, you are the manager. So the quality of audit performed, I am writing here. I should have tested the entire IAS, IFRS. Evidence is obtained, compliance with ISAs, time, quality, staff, challenging the management, materiality, revision of procedures, asking questions, skepticism and judgment, yes, plus sampling plus arrow there are a lot of things, plus ethical issues as well, plus safeguards. These are the important thing as well, because it is written in the question as well. Quality of the audit, also discussing the quality management, ethical and other professional issues. And this is ROMM, sampling, revision, ethical issues, safeguards. I should review all this thing. I am the junior and I am bringing into your relevance, and you are here to review my work. You are here to read, and this question is too much important. I really love this question, right? So let's come on to the question. You people have read this requirement. The question is attached in the handout section. You can even download it. Now moving ahead for this question. This is Macau company. It is 1st July. It is 1st July 2005, or you can say 2015. You are a senior manager in Macau company, a firm of chartered accountants. In your capacity as engagement quality control reviewer, you are EQCR, engagement quality control reviewer. You have been asked to review the audit files of Stanley and Coulomb. This is basically the Stanley requirement I have extracted for this webinar series, both of which have a financial year end is 31st March 20x5. This is the Stanley company, right? The following exhibits available below provide information relevant to the question. That's Stanley company. Will you people please read this thing, read this question from here to till here? Yes, till here. Please read this information till here. All right, now I'm going to read this question And whenever there is a requirement of the evaluation, and remember that you are actually evaluating the things, right? You are actually evaluating the things, and while evaluating the things, you should use your evaluation skills, and that is the clarity of the answer. Each and every thing, each and everything with the meaning, with the reason, should have been clearly written in your answer, and so your professional marks would also be embedded, right? Now, I am now going to read this case. Stanley is a frozen food processor. Stanley is a frozen food processor selling the products to wholesalers and supermarkets. From your review of the audit working papers, you have noted that level of materiality was determined 1.5 million at the planning stage, and this materiality threshold has been used throughout the audit. That is a big mistake. I am highlighting the things, whatever the issue I am facing in this review file. So I will be giving it a question mark. There is no evidence that audit file that threshold has been reviewed during the course of the audit. And remember that this is the matter of ISA 320. Why I have selected this question? I have selected this question by considering that in this specific question there is the application of ISAs, there is the application of accounting standards as well. In addition, your evaluation skills are being used. So that is why I have chosen this question at this last day. And plus, I will also be discussing one recently added thing by the in the article, and that is the climate related risk. So I need your patience as well. We will be discussing climate related risk as well in this today's webinar, the last day. So the point is that materiality is being covered under ISA 320, and this was the breach. What ISA 320 says? ISA 320 says that materiality, and you know that how the materiality is actually calculated. There are materiality thresholds like 5% profit before tax. Now see that what is the chain, what is the hierarchy. When the risk is high, the materiality is low. When the risk is high, the materiality is low, right? When the risk is high, the materiality is low. When the risk is high, the materiality is low, right? Now, second point is that ISA 320 says that when your risk level is high, materiality setting is setting at the lower threshold, and ISA 320 says that when you are experiencing a different kind of scenarios as predicted in the planning stage, you should revise your materiality level accordingly. You should review your materiality level accordingly, right? So that is the important thing. But here this is the breach which I have found it as a senior quality reviewer. You are the audit manager, or in this case you are playing the role of the quality control reviewer, right? So I will be typing this answer over here. But you need to start up with the good introduction, that from the review of the working paper file, it was noted that some of the areas were not performed well. You should not use the word that is the audit was not conducted in the manner stated in the ISA. No, you should write it very thoroughly. So I am writing here that from the review of the audit working paper file, it was noticed that some of the areas during the audit were not performed as per the required level of the standard quality, and some of the areas were breached? No, not at all. And some of the areas were underperformed. So I'm just giving the heading of materiality. And you know what? The clarity of the answer. And you know what? The clarity of the answer also depends. The clarity of the answer depends on the well-structured heading. So now I will be giving the reference of ISA 320, that what is the level of materiality, and you should, and remember one thing, I am writing here at the bottom of the question, at the last of the question, that when you are evaluating the quality, in fact I had told you about this thing earlier, that whenever you are required to evaluate of the quality, so that means you should write, okay, I am writing over there, I'm writing it over there, so that I will be having the record of this as well, and I will be sharing this file as well. So when you are supposed to evaluate something, you should write matter, expected work, that is what should have happened, plus what had happened, and whatever had happened, what is the impact on end results. What is the impact on the end result, right? And how to overcome your recommendation as well. So you should evaluate matter, expected work, what should have happened over there, what happened, what is the impact, how to overcome, that is the recommendation. And that is the beauty of the question, that is evaluation, right? So you should use your evaluation skills. Mr. Leonard Shava, that you are the EQCR. You are not addressing it to anyone. You are the one to whom I have addressed the evidences, and you are the one you have to judge my audit work performed. It's basically the hot review, mostly recommended, right? So this is the drafting style, and my answer will be covering the evaluation of these things. This is the drafting style, right? So now let's move on to the formal answer. Now let's move on to the formal answer. Materiality. You should first write about the materiality. That is materiality. You might be noticing that my answer is extended, but I am writing the quality answer. The length does not matter. Actually, the quality does matter, right? So materiality is determined in the planning stage of the audit as per ISA 320, and it is the matter of auditor's professional judgment. It's a matter of the auditor's professional judgment and is based on the level of risk assessed, comma, the higher the risk, or you can use the word the higher the risk of material misstatement, the lower is the level of materiality. And there are some thresholds, or you can use the word, there are some benchmark percentages set under ACCA 320. And ACCA further goes on to say that, now this is the thing, what should have happened over there at that circumstances. ACCA further goes on to say that when the actual scenarios are different, then materiality level needs to be revised accordingly. It should be revised accordingly, but the audit team, now what's the question here? The question here is that it was not, there is no evidences, right? So it quite may be possible that not revising the materiality, you might have set it at the upper level. As a result, few less items might be tested, and it quite may be possible that if I have tested a few items, the detection risk would be high and opinion could be affected. Opinion can be wrongly expressed. See that the highest level of impact by this blunder, by this mistake, but the audit team had maintained the constant level of materiality, but the audit team had maintained the constant level of materiality and not revised during the course of the audit. And it may be possible that wrong materiality might be set, and if it is at higher range in the threshold, then probably sample size would be low and less procedures might be applied. And ultimately, what can be the maximum impact? And ultimately, the wrong opinion can be expressed on the financial statements. And see that materiality is one of the backbone. Materiality is one of the backbone topic, right? So materiality determines how many items to examine, what sample size to be used, and if the materiality is not revised based on the circumstances, so definitely your procedures and your things may be affected, right? So this is the thing I had written down related to the materiality. Now let's move ahead. About the other information. The other information is about something else. From your review of the audit planning, you know that a new packaging machine with a cost of 1.6 million was acquired in June 2004 or 14 and is recognized in the draft financial position at a carrying amount 1.4 million. See that it's 1.6. See that if it is cost is 1.6 and its carrying amount is 1.4 million. So what is the difference? Obviously 1.6 and 1.4, the difference is of 0.2 million. That would definitely be the depreciation, right? at 31st March. The packaging machine is located. Now, what is the evidence of depreciation? My audit junior. Now, you and me are now playing the role of the quality reviewer, right? So, what is the evidence? What is the useful life? There is no information as such available. So here is that the packaging machine is located at the premises of Aberdeen. Aberdeen, yes. The machine is not in my place. The machine is at somewhere else in the premises of another company, a distribution company which is used to pack and distribute a significant proportion. The machine has not yet physically verified by a member of the audit team. No physical existence. There is no physical existence of the audit team. There is no physical existence, then audit team have reviewed it. Now see that the junior should have performed the physical existence verification, the depreciation, and all this. This is not being covered here. The audit working paper concludes that we have obtained the purchase invoice. Okay, they have inspected the invoice in order to and order in the relation to machine, and therefore can conclude that asset is appropriately valued and it exists. They have only inspected the invoice. They have only inspected the invoice. In addition, the managing director has confirmed in writing that machine is located in the working order. No further work is needed. Now see that Aberdeen is the external party. Remember that Aberdeen is the external party. How can I rely on the Aberdeen statement? I should have physically visit to the Aberdeen premises in order to test that what kind of machine is there. It should have been physically inspected, right, to verify the existence. Students, please come on to the question box. Do you understand this thing, please? Do tell me in the question box. Alright, now I am writing about the new packaging machine. Now since this is the non-current assets, there should be useful life, there should be depreciation, it may be subject for impairment test. None of the procedures have been carried out. So this is this is hard to rely on. Okay, this is hard to rely on. So I am writing here about the new packaging machine. It's a new packaging machine. I'm doing it a little soon, and now I'm going to write this thing. The team had obtained, with respect to the new machine purchased and is placed to the no, I will write it later on. With respect to the new machine purchased, the audit team had inspected the invoice. The audit team had inspected the invoice of the machine, which although verifies the cost. You know, if I have purchased the machine, it verifies the cost, it verifies the rights and obligation. Because the invoice belongs to me, there would be my name as well, which also verifies the cost of the machine, and also rights and obligations by the evidence of the name of the company. What's actually the name of the company? Stanley Company. Name of the Stanley Company, which is the correct procedure. Which is the correct procedure, but not sufficient. It is not sufficient. It was not physically it is not physically inspected, but right now I am going for the cost of the machine. Verify the value. The reported value is $1.4 million, and so $0.2 million is the depreciation. That is 1.6 minus 0.2. That is 1.6 minus 0.2. Sorry, 1.4. 1.4. And there should have been the evidence of the determination of useful life, depreciation, which is not available in the working paper file. And so the net book value can be, would it be overstated or understated? Will you people please write anything? The reported value is over or under? Yes, Mr. Akhil, you have to write few recommendations as well. If the depreciation is not being verified, the reported value can be over or understated both. It might be possible, right? So your net book value of the machine can be over/understated. Can be over or understated. And furthermore, it might be possible. This is the machine. This may be physically damaged. There may be the external indicator of the impairment of the machine, because IS 36 says that when there are indicators, you should test for the impairment. There is no hint of that as well. Furthermore, the machine may be impaired, and IS 36 says that if there are any indicator of the impairment, then it should be tested. No evidence is available whether or not there is any indicator of impairment, or whether it was tested for the impairment, tested for impairment. And again, there is a risk that NCA may be over/understated. This area should have been dealt with the more procedures for more evidences. So you should write it like that. You should write it like that way. So this is not yet indicated, right? Do you understand this? Do you understand this? Please reply in the question box. Excuse me. I want maximum answers. I need sufficient evidence. Please reply here. Procedures are being performed, right? But these are not sufficient. Some of the procedures were not performed, Mr. Akhil. Now, what is the next problem here? What's the next problem here? That the machine was placed in the premises of Aberdeen company. And one more important thing, see that I am the Stanley company. Assume that I am the Stanley company. I am the Stanley company, and I have placed this machine in the premises of Aberdeen. I have purchased the machine and I have placed this machine in the premises of Aberdeen. And the audit, whatever, he had not visited Aberdeen company to confirm the existence. No, not at all. Instead, Aberdeen company is writing a letter. It is a working order, and no further work is needed. One more important thing: if the company had made Aberdeen responsible for the security over the machine, there might have been the conflict between the Stanley company and the Aberdeen company. There is no evidence as well. So this is also the shortcoming. Alright. Now furthermore, in addition, I am writing the word in addition. In addition is a more formal word. In addition, physically inspection should have been made to verify the existence of the machine, and audit working paper file is showing that it was not verified, and so casting that doubt over the existence. The audit team should have visited the premises of a company with the permission of Stanley management, but instead the machine is and in the working. Please reply in the question box. My voice is clear. All right. Just students, is my voice is clear now? My voice is clear now? Okay. Can you people see me? Is my camera on? Is my camera on? Everything is fine? Is everything fine now? Please reply here. Okay. All right, students. Now let's proceed. Instead that our team is at premises in the but instead the team had relied over the written statement by Abadi that machine is at their premises and in the working condition, and not even the copy of agreement is available in the working paper file to confirm the arrangement. So there is a doubt. There is still a doubt over the existence of the machine. All right, do you understand this now? And one more important thing, if I am using the services of Aberdeen, there might be the rental expense which I am paying to them. It might be possible that I will be paying the rental agreement, I will be paying the rent to them. So there is no even, for example, I have got the machine and I am using the services of Aberdeen in order to place my machine at their premises. I would be definitely paying them a rent. So there is not even the extracts of the expense that the rent is being paid to the Aberdeen. The working paper is not over here. You should think very critically. Right? If the services of Aberdeen is being used, then there may be the rent being paid to the company, to the Aberdeen, and the working paper file is not showing the evidence of rental expense charged. So these are the areas which are uncovered. Mr. Akil, yes, absolutely yes. If I have purchased the machine, you need to verify each and every assertion, and existence is one of them. I may tell a lie. If I am going to write that I have purchased the machine, written statement is not enough. Written statement is there to support the evidences. First find the evidence. There is no evidence of the existence. How can you accept the written statement, right? So you should inspect it first and then take the written statement. Come on, students, I need your active response. Do you people understand this? Please reply me. Please reply me here. That's good. Now let's take a short break here. I'm giving you the break. even without your request, and we will be available right after the break. It's approximately 10 o'clock at my side. Approximately, I will be resuming it at 10:20 p.m. That's PST. Do not disconnect. Do not disconnect, since we are doing a very important question, and we will have to discuss a climate related risk which is recently introduced, right? So stay connected. Now enjoy the break. Friends, we are now back from the break, and I need your confirmation whether my voice, screen, video is all clear so that I can resume up with this question. Will you people please confirm me in the question box that my voice, video, screen is all clear? Mr. Hussam, the rent is being placed. For example, you own the car and you are using the parking. You are using the parking lot. So obviously you will be paying the rent. So my machine is there. I have placed it in someone else's premises. I need to pay the rent. That was the thing I was talking about. All right, shall I proceed with this question, all of you? Will you people please confirm? Okay, yes, I have received your confirmation messages, and now I'm going to resume up with this question, right? I'm now going to resume up with this question, and I am now opening my answer. Now here I need to read about the inventory. I need to read about the inventory. You people please, I'm now going to read this inventory information, so please pay attention with me. Simultaneously we will be solving this question. It is written that inventory is recognized at 2 million in the draft financial statement of financial position, and you review that results of audit procedure performed at the inventory count. Where test on performed by the audit team indicated that some items performed by the company staff was not correct. You know what? Inventory is actually being counted by the management. Inventory is actually being counted by the management, and you are the auditor. You need to observe it. You need to observe it. Inventory is actually being counted by the management, and you are the auditor, and you need to observe. You need to observe it. And if there is any control flaw, you need to inform to the management according to ISA 265. So here it is written that uh, the working paper stated inventory count was well organized and conclude that discrepancy was immaterial, and so no further action is required. So this is about the inventory. This is about the inventory area which was not well audited. So I am writing here for the inventory. I'm writing for the inventory. I'm writing for the inventory. Point to be noted is that what is the value of the inventory? The value of the inventory was booked at 2 million, and it was material. Since the materiality threshold is, yes, since the materiality threshold is 1.5 million, and so inventory is the material, is at material level. Inventory is at material level, right? So I'm writing the thing that the inventory figure reported is $2 million, which is the material, which is the material, right? And IS2 says that inventory should be valued at lower of cost or NRV. One more important point is that as an auditor, you need to inspect the breakdown of the cost. You need to break down of the cost that inventory should include. And this is the food retailer. This is the retailer, right? The company is of the retailing company. Stanley company is the food processor, is a frozen food processor. Frozen food processor. So obviously there might be some direct material, direct labor, and all that stuff. So there is no evidence that audit team had conducted the cost or the NRV testing. That cost is accurate, NRV is accurate. No, not at all. So inventory should be valued at lower of cost or NRV. I have written it down. The cost should have included the direct material, direct labor, production overheads, right? And NRV should be verified from the market with the help of the experts, right? And there was no evidence regarding this. there was no evidence regarding this, right? Instead, it was written that there was no evidence regarding that. With the help of expert and no evidence, and in the working paper file, it was not evidence that cost and NRV were confirmed. It was not indicated. It was not indicated, right? And one more important thing is that inventory is being counted by the management. Remember, inventory is being counted by the management. Inventory is being counted by the management, and as the auditor, it is ISA 501 that is being applied. ISA 501, that auditor should attend the inventory count. And when the second count were performed, it was noted that company's staff was not performing the inventory count correctly. So that means it is the control flaw. And if there is a deficiency in the control, substantive procedures should have been increased, and they are not increasing the substantive procedures, that the quality audit was not performed. Furthermore, I am writing here, furthermore, it was noted that some of the staff at the client did not perform the inventory counting well, and so this is the control problem which should have been addressed to the management. You know, from your earlier paper, AA F8 audit and assurance, when there is a deficiency, there is a recommendation being addressed to the management, and there is no such evidence that recommendation was given to the management, which should have been addressed to the management, to improve the control, and there is no such evidence. Should have been addressed to management to improve the controls, and there is no such evidence, right? There is no such evidence. There is no such evidence of compliance with ISA 265. This was the thing, right? And so more substantive procedures should have been applied. More substantive procedures should have been applied. Instead, considering the discrepancy as immaterial, no further procedures were performed. Considering this as an immaterial, no further procedures were performed. Now this is the problem. This is the problem from the side of the audit team, who had conducted the audit with a less care, right? So I'm now typing this. No further procedures were performed, and it may be possible, you know, that auditor considers the materiality as an individual or when aggregated with other misstatements, and it may be possible that it may be material when aggregated with some other misstatements, right? And this may cast doubt. That inventory can be over/understated, right? So the inventory area was not addressed well. So I'm now going to discuss the next thing, and this is the thing, that audit is not being performed in the required quality manner. and uh, this is the paragraph. These are two paragraphs which is left. The audit senior spoke to you yesterday. I am giving you 2 minutes window. Please read this thing. Please read this, students, regarding what's the next issue, because you are also supposed to comment on the ethical and other professional issues. Read these two paragraphs. Now I am giving you one task right now, which you should do it right now. You should you should read these two paragraphs critically. You are supposed to apply your evaluation skills. Do it fast, as I have taught you recently. Please start reading this thing with the thorough attention. Stop. Stop here, all of you. Stop here. Now I am going to read this first paragraph right now, and we will be discussing this thing, and then later on we will be discussing the extreme last paragraph for this thing, with the intention to evaluate the assignments, with the evaluation to review the work. Right now I am going to read this question. Please pay attention and remain with me. Here it is written that the audit senior spoke to you yesterday, voicing some concerns about the performance of the audit. A summary of his comments is shown below. The audit manager and audit partner came to review the audit working papers on the same day towards the completion of the audit fieldwork. Remember that when the quality is being performed, that it's a time as well. Yes, the quality also covered the time as well. For example, that if I am giving you the example that I am constructing the apartment, I'm constructing the apartment for 30 floors. Let's say, for example, it's a big apartment, 30 floors, and I am going to construct this within 2 months. Is it practically possible? No, not at all. So that means the quality time is not being given. For example, I'm saying that I have taught the AAA entire course within 5 hours. What you have taught within 5 hours, the course cannot be completed. All right, even the revision webinar is of 12 hours for the considering the exam focus requirements. So giving the time is also the matter of the quality. If a student is coming to me and he's saying that, sir, I have spent 2 hours and I've completed the entire AAA course, I cannot believe this statement that the complete AAA course can be revised within 2 hours. Is it a quality time? No. And when the quality time kills, the quality output kills. So you should pay attention towards this thing as well, right? Now, see that what is being here, what is written here, the audit manager and the audit partner. You are not the audit manager right now. You are the quality controller, right? The audit manager and the audit partner came to review the audit working papers on the same day towards the completion of the audit fieldwork. The audit fieldwork means when the ground level of work like TOC substantive had been finished, and on the same day, the audit manager and the partners are reviewing the audit working papers. The audit partner asked me if there had been any issue on the section of the audit which I had worked on, and when I said there is no problem, he signed off the working papers. The partner asked me to the audit senior, right? The audit senior is speaking to you. He had signed off the working papers after having a quick look through them. Now, what is the quality issue here? The quality issue here is that the audit manager is bringing the working paper file. The audit partner is reviewing at the same time on the same day. Hierarchy. Please listen. Understand the hierarchy. The juniors, the seniors, and when the audit senior is there, audit senior is giving the report summary to the manager, and manager should review it thoroughly. Now the manager and partner are reviewing on the same day. It quite may be possible, assuming that I am the manager. I just go, okay, Mr. Partner, yes, partner is okay, quickly sign off. So it quite may be possible. Yes, it quite may be possible that there would be the lack of proper monitoring and review of the audit procedure. It quite may be possible. It quite may be possible that some misstatements might be there, and with the pressure of the time, with the self-assuming intimidation threat, the pressure of the time that I have to do it right now quickly, it might may be possible that some misstatements might be there and I might have overlooked to them, and so the containing the misstatement, the true and fair opinion might be released to the shareholders, and it quite may be possible that this is the an opinion, a wrong opinion can be expressed. What do you say, students? Do you understand this thing, this issue? This is the issue of the quality, the very important issue of the quality, right? Do you understand this thing? Please reply me in the question box. Hello, students, will you please reply me in the question box? Do you understand this thing? That's pretty much fine. Now I'm going to type this thing about the working papers. All right. I'm now going to type about this working papers. It's working paper review. It's about the working paper review. So you know there is a standard on quality assurance, that is ISA 220 quality assurance, right? So as per ISA 220, quality, there should have been the review of the quality performed. There should have been the review of the quality audit performed. Quality of the audit. The appropriate word is quality of the audit performed with a thorough attention. This is that kind of a student who is just reading the requirement. This is that kind of issue, just reading, not understanding. So this review is not the review by reading blah blah blah, okay, sign off the report, not at all. You have to critically review it. Okay, so since they are not reviewing with a thorough attention, and the audit manager and the partner, and the audit manager and the audit partner, audit manager and the audit partner, what are they doing? Audit manager and the partner are reviewing on the same day, and no evidence that sufficient time had been taken by the audit manager to review the evidences obtained. To review the evidences obtained, right? To conclude whether the evidences are sufficient and appropriate, right? So I am now well assuming that you are understanding my point, and don't you people worry about this. I will be uploading this typed answer as well, and you are in the WhatsApp group, and in the WhatsApp group I have placed the Google Drive link. I will be placing my answer over there, so you people can review it later on as well. Okay. So now moving towards the next problem here. Now the next problem here is that upon asking to the audit partner, he responded that there is no problem and signed off the audit report after having the quick look. After having a quick look, because it was written the word on the working papers, and showing the lack of, you know, um, 5 fundamental ethical principles: integrity, objectivity, professional competence, and due care, and showing the lack of due care while having the review, of the working papers. All right. But one important thing is that it is not mandatory that each and every file will be reviewed, but at least sufficient time should be devoted uh, to the review, to make sure, and so that if it is not being performed, so there are chances that misstatements is still there, misstatements are still there, and wrong opinion can be released for the users, right? It quite may be possible. However, it is not mandatory. It is not mandatory to review each and every working paper, but at least but at least sufficient time should be spent to review the material things, or to those matters which are judgmental, or where the chances of material misstatements are high. And so if there are no careful and so if there is no careful review of working papers, then possible chances that material misstatements might be there, and so wrong opinion can be expressed. Right? So this is the thing. The answer is quite lengthy, but at least while I am teaching, I am personally, me Haris Sanif, personally, I type the answers long, because it's my intention that when I am going to teach someone, so I should tell and express each and everything. So based on your time and marking scheme, you should write it accordingly into your exam, right? So do not, the length of the answer does not matter, but at least the quality and the contents and the completion of the answer does matter. So that is why when I am writing, I am ensuring myself that I am writing which is understandable by you guys. Okay, so that is the thing. Now the last paragraph is that then we have to discuss something else. Please read this thing, the last paragraph, this thing, please read it very carefully. Can you people tell me which kind of ethical threat is there? Can you people please tell me which kind of ethical threat is there? Yes, Mr. Akin, you should review it thoroughly. That would be the recommendations. Yes, it's a self-interest threat. Now I'm going to read this thing. When reading the company's board minutes, I found several references to the audit partner. Audit partner Joe. It appears that Joe recommended that company use the services of his brother, Mick, for advice on the business development, as Mick is a management consultant. Based on that recommendation, Mick has provided a consultancy services to Stanley Company since December 2024. I mentioned this to Joe that he told me not to record in the working paper or to discuss with it anyone. The audit partner seems to be a biased person. He is giving you the warning not to record or don't tell it to anyone, right? So this is the pure self-interest threat, because right now what the audit partner is doing, the audit partner is actually listen to me very carefully. The audit partner is actually recommending his brother's accountancy firm to the audit client. The audit partner is recommending his brother's firm to the company for the management accountancy services, and simply is that he is introducing either himself or to his brother. The house is same, the home is same, and obviously the money is coming in the same house, and it is the against objectivity. If there is no intention of Mr. Joe, then it quite may be possible that there may be uh, doubt over the independency by appearance, and similarly his audit credibility may be lowered down. His audit credibility may be lowered down, right? It quite may be possible, and it's a self-interest threat. And if Mr. Joe had taken the commission from his brother to introduce, then the further self-interest would be generated. So this is the ethical issue, and professional issue is that the competency of the brother, the competency of the brother, it should also be analyzed, right? So I'm not going to write this thing here. I'm not going to type thing here, introducing the brothers firm. The audit engagement partner is introducing the firm of his brother to Stanley Company to Stanley Company to Stanley Company and auditor should focus on his professional objective, that is to conduct the audit independently right? And introducing his brother is against the objectivity and representing the self-interest threat. Self-interest threat, and there may be the doubt. There may be the doubt over the credibility of the of his audit opinion. When this arrangement would be in the public attention, it quite may be possible that when this matter would be brought into the public attention, that there would be the doubt over the credibility, right? If audit partner had received the commission from the firm of the brother, then self-interest threats would be extended to the high level that no safeguards may reduce it because of financial interest, right? And possibly wrong opinion can be expressed. It's now enough till here. Furthermore, in addition, there may be some practical slash professional issue with the brother, that is whether or not his brother has required level of skills to provide the management consultancy services, right? Which needs to be considered. Safeguard like rotation of the audit partner is recommended recommended here to conduct the audit independently. To conduct the audit independently. Now, this is the evaluation of the quality audit performance. Students, do you understand this requirement? Please reply me in the question box. Shall we proceed to the environment risk, climate risk? Yes, I will be sharing this file as well. I will be sharing this file as well. Mr. Akhil, because it is a matter of professionalism, and I'm not saying that you need to consider. I'm not saying that you need to consider this thing, because it is the requirement of the question. You have to discuss ethical as well as professional issue, and this is the professionalism. This is the practical thing. This is a practical thing, right? So this is the professional issue. If he is not professional, ethical is a different thing, and you need to discuss the other side of the story as well. Mr. Akhil, do you understand this thing? Do you understand this thing? Okay, now I'm moving towards another. Okay, you are welcome. There is a handout attached here with the name of climate related risk. Please download it. Climate related risk. I'm not going to open that file. I am just closing this file, and I'm not going to open that climate risk file. Climate related risk. Now this is my last topic to be discussed here. This is climate related risk. First of all, listen to me very carefully. Do you know that organizations creates the pollution, and they provide harm to the natural environment, right? They provide harm to the natural environment, and so there is a climate related risk. Now, how this climate related risk will impact to the audit, will impact to the audit and to the audit planning. Now, one point is that it is written that ISB has issued audit practice alert related to the auditor's consideration of climate related risk. The alert provides guidance to the auditor on how to apply existing ISAs to the specific issue of climate related risk. The alert explains the responsibility of management and auditor with respect to the climate related risk, covers the main auditing standards relevant to the climate related risk. Now the requirement here in this file, the requirement here is this, that how do this climate risk would affect the audit. How it will affect. Now just hold on, I'm writing the requirement here. First, we need to discuss something, that what is basically the climate issue. Nowadays, global warming is increasing. The global warming is increasing, right? Many organizations pollute the creates the pollution. Do you believe? Please come on to the question box. Come on to the question. Come on to the question box, all of you. Do you believe that manufacturing company creates the pollution? Do you agree on that? Manufacturing company creates the pollution. Manufacturing company creates the pollution. Yes, manufacturing company uh, creates the pollution. That's the waste of raw material, that's the waste of energy, that's the waste of many natural resources. I'm giving you some practical examples, and then I will be writing the requirement and we will be discussing this answer. And since it may become the current issue, it may become the current issue, it may be examined with the question, so you should be prepared for that. And I will be giving you one advice at the last of this of the class. Now point to be noted is that I was about to give the practical example of pollution. Let's say there is a hotel industry, there is a hotel. You know, hotel also creates the pollution. Why? Because in hotel many of the guests are staying there, they are using the curtains, they are using the bed sheets, they are using the quilt cover and all that stuff. And on daily basis, a 4-star 5-star hotel, that their items are being sent to the laundry, and they are wasting the material on daily basis. Similarly, and how the technology is giving the edge to minimize the wastages. For example, let's say for example, if I am wasting the water, if I am wasting the water, so definitely it would impact to the natural environment. That's the creation. Ultimately the climate gets changed. So if the water is being wasted, the material is being wasted without the compensation, without having the compensation, definitely the environment would be affected, right? And the important point is that one more thing, the pollution is in terms of carbon dioxide emission, that's CO2 emission as well. CO2 in many of the developed nations, the government's a regulation. The government do not allow, the governments of many countries do not allow to use the vehicles up to a certain range of model. That's the laws and regulation of the government, that you should use the latest equipments, because it would be creating carbon dioxide. Now, this is the how it will affect the financial statements. I'm going to tell you. Don't you people worry about it, because I will be serving the time discussing this climate related issues. If the water is being wasted, if the energy is being wasted, if the resources are being wasted, it would definitely affect the natural environment, right? And ultimately the climate gets affected. Now what is the impact on the financial reporting? Let's say, okay, I will be example it later on, but first you people tell me, do the whether the service organization affects the environment through carbon dioxide. Service organization, just say yes or no. Service organization, whether the service organization affects the natural environment. Will you people please write? One or two students have written yes. One student had written no, very limited. Now I'm giving you practical example. The service industry. Number one, on the top priority, the service industry, the courier service. The courier service. They have got hundreds of vehicles. They have got, there are many famous brands of courier services internationally. They are operating the courier services through their own bikes, through their own vehicles, even through their own airplanes. If their engines are older, if they are damaged, they would be releasing carbon dioxide, impacting the natural environment. They will be impacting even more than the manufacturing environment. Number two example, every service organization nowadays, they are installing air conditioned, and every air condition has its outer, they are releasing the gas, it may be harmful for the environment. And the point to be noted is that when the environment is getting affected, it should be compensated with more plantation. It should be compensated with more plantation so that carbon dioxide absorbs it and compensate it, right? So naturally the ozone layer would might be getting damaged. So service organization also provide harm to the environment. There is a bank, there is a very big bank in the country, even your central bank of the country. They are having generators, they are having a standby electrical facility, they are having lots of air conditions, they are operating with their computers. All these machineries creates carbon dioxide. Yes. So service organizations sometimes even become more dangerous in terms of the natural environment to provide harm to the natural environment. It might be possible. So not even the trading company as well, because of the vehicles and using of the equipments. Right? Now, it's now clear with the practical examples that service organization provides harm. Now the requirement is that you should discuss, I am writing the requirement, discuss the main ways. It is CRR. Discuss the main ways that CRR will impact. The CRR will impact the planning and performing of audit. Right? Now the important point is that listen it very carefully. When your machine gets older one, when your machine gets older one, and the complaint is that, now I am now going to teach you people the impact on the financial reporting because of this climate change. Now please be exam focused. This is the recent topic audit, and this may become the current issue as well. This may be examined, and I'm expecting there may be a small question on it. So get ready. Right now I'm now going to explain how, number one, how it will affect the financial reporting. Secondly, how it will impact the audit. Okay, fair enough. Now let's proceed. Point to be noted is that the machine is getting older, and complaint is that it creates carbon dioxide emission, right? So there may be, the machine is getting older because of this. This is the scenario. The impact is of impairment because the machine is getting older and it is creating carbon dioxide, right? Now there is a point of impairment testing. Now there is a point, it quite may be, and you need to exert your audit procedures accordingly for the impairment testing. It quite may be possible that it's a matter of even going concern. if breached the local laws and regulation, because there is an environmental law, there is the environmental law as well. It quite may be possible that because of this thing, there are many famous brands, without mentioning the name of any particular brand, since we have some limited time as well to discuss this thing. They are working on the natural environment. They are doing the positive action, at least from their side, in order to create the awareness not to. One more important thing, that technology is getting, that the technology is providing you the very important benefit. How? If I am wasting the water, if I am wasting the water, it will be the cause for the pollution, right? Number two, how the technology is getting improved here, through the censored tabs. The traditional tabs, you need to open it, but the censored tabs are that when you place your hand under it, the water will come out. And similarly, the censored tabs will work, and that technology is getting ensured, the technology is getting ensured that unnecessary water cannot be should not be wasted. Number two example, and then I will be coming to this question, right? Number two example, the paper, the hard paper. You know how the paper is constructed, how the paper is produced through the cutting of forest woods. Now there are electronic machine which recycle the used paper. Yes, there's a famous brand Epson. There is a machine when the paper will be inserted, just like a photocopy machine, and the paper will come out in a blank form. So no need to cut down the forest and provide harm to the natural environment. These are the practical examples, you should know it. Okay, so it quite may be possible previously you guys are not aware of these examples, or probably you might be aware. So appreciate the knowledge whatever you are getting in. So there may be the going concern issue, and nowadays consumers, customers, stakeholders are getting even more aware regarding these things, because many of the organizations are creating the awareness programs regarding the sustainability issues. So it quite may be possible that your reputation may go down, ultimately the sales would be impacted. And there is a risk that sales are overstated. Now point to be noted is that in the financial statements, uh, this is the written over here, I will be referring to this thing. Financial statements, before the financial statements there are other information. In annual report, one thing is that there is the annual report. In annual report there is other information, where company would be where company would be publishing its environment activity, right? And so how does it affect the audit? The audit planning should cover risk of material misstatement. Your procedures should be accordingly. You should read this thing. As per ISA 720. You know ISA 720, the other information. Auditor should read down the other information, right? So all these things affecting the financial statements. And if anything would be affecting the financial statement, naturally auditor becomes active, because you are the one to test the financial statements, right? So this is the environmental touch. And now discuss the main ways the CRR, its climate related risk, would impact the planning and performing the audit. It is the answer. Climate related risk impact on the planning and performing the audit. I will be sharing this document with you guys. I will be uploading it onto the Google Drive after the end of this webinar. So just place your important attention towards this drafting. Now, the point to be noted is that during the planning stage, the auditor must obtain understanding of entity, the industry in which the entity operates, its system of control. This will help the auditor to understand the level of exposure the client has to CRR, which must be taken into consideration when identifying and assessing the risk of material misstatements and design the appropriate audit procedure. So in this paragraph it is mean that while you are obtaining an understanding of client entity, you should also understand what activities will be affecting to the environment, right? Just like written here is that industries directly exposed to CRR include energy, agriculture, transportation, the service industry, construction, manufacturing. Other industries may be indirectly exposed to the supply chain issues. Companies directly exposed to CRR may have risk of material misstatement related to impairment of assets, provisions, just like you can say provisions of penalty in case of breach of environmental law. Going concern, adequacy of disclosure among others. So this was the thing which I had already explained. So it quite may be possible that there are chances I may perform against the environmental law, and if I am performing against the environmental law, there should have been the penalty provision, disclosure and accordingly. So while understanding the entity, you should assume simply that my activity harms to the natural environment and accordingly my machine would be low. There would be the impairment testing, there should be the provision recording and all that stuff, right? Now, when the auditor obtain an understanding of the entity system of control, they must understand the component of the internal control as the entity's risk assessment process. That is what controls entity applied to reduce this environment harm and which are relevant to the financial reporting. Due to their interrelationship between risk and materiality, the assessment of CRR will also impact the determination of materiality, with the preliminary materiality likely to be set at a lower amount, which are more exposed to the CRR. Now you should need to understand that when the client entity who are directly associated, directly impacting to the natural environment, more exposed to CRR, so their materiality level should be set low. This is your audit practice. So your materiality level, your level of materiality should be low. That is ISA 320. The auditor must also consider information need of user and assess whether certain balances may be material by nature. By nature means non-financial materiality. Okay, so this is the thing auditor should need to make sure. Secondly, some governments have brought in requirements for disclosure related to CRR. Therefore, as part of their consideration laws, auditor would need to ensure compliance with these requirements. All right, so that is laws and regulation, which is ISA 250. You need to make sure that companies are complying with the laws and regulations, and complete disclosures are being made. Complete disclosures are being made, right? So disclosure notes should be read. The result of the risk assessment will influence the design of appropriate procedures where CRR is significant. That means when the company is directly exposed to the climate related matters, then procedures provide more persuasive evidences will need to be performed, particularly related to the estimation of uncertainty like valuation of assets, which may affected by impairment. Why valuation of assets affected by impairment? Because machine is old and may need to be replaced. So for some areas, such as estimation of energy resources like gas, fossil fuels, an auditor expert, there are two kind of expert. Now listen it very carefully. There are two kind of expert. Number one is the management expert, and number two, the expert which you are bringing in your audit team, and that is being covered by ISA 620. Since you have studied ACCA, the global qualification, you have studied the ACCA, the global qualification, and you have studied chartered accountancy. So which machine may provide more harm to the natural environment, you should bring your expert, and that is being covered under ISA 620. Remember, this is the yet another application of it. And moving the next, the going concern status of some entities may be uncertain. For example, where extreme weather is becoming more common, causing devastating effects year on year, CRR will need to be taken into account by the management when assessing the ability to continue as a going concern. Number one, whether there is a going concern requirement, the climate is getting much more poorer, for example, and even the government is not allowing to operate, or even I don't want to operate by myself. Then the auditor, when evaluating the management use of going concern basis, and similarly, it's ISA 570. So see that with the effect of climate change, various accounting standards and audit standards are being linked. If the auditor is not satisfied that financial statements are free from material misstatement, the auditor must consider the impact of audit report and opinion. And one thing, the climate related matters are included in other published information. That's other information. And as per ISA 720, you should read that information in the annual report, right? So this is your audit efforts with related to the climate CRR. I want your active response. I want your active engagement in the question box. Students, please come on to the question box. Do you people understand what kind of climate related risks I was talking about? Do you people understand? Please do tell me in the question box. I don't want answer from one or two students, please. I need sufficient evidences. Please respond. All of you, the students, please respond here. Do you understand with the real practical examples? That's great. Whenever I say be active, that means you should be active. Now, one more important thing. Considering this webinar series, I had tried my level best to give you, to demonstrate you as much as possible. The last points. Don't worry, Mr. Akhil, the recording would be available on ACC YouTube channel. I will be sharing the recorded link. You can watch it later on, no problem at all. You can even watch it completely. Are you in the WhatsApp group, Mr. Akhil? Are you all in the WhatsApp group? If you people are not in the WhatsApp group, you can simply WhatsApp me as well. This is my WhatsApp number. This is my WhatsApp number. This is my WhatsApp number, and you can. Okay, Mr. Arkin, you can WhatsApp me. Please save this my number, and I will add you in my WhatsApp group. Now, what I was saying that probably this link may not work. Probably. Will you people please wait? Just wait a minute. I will be sharing the WhatsApp link. And I need to discuss one more important thing. So don't go anywhere. Okay, now you will be receiving the WhatsApp group link in your question box. You will be receiving the most recent link in the question box. So join the WhatsApp group now. Now my advice is that first of all, you should go to the ACCA website, accglobal.com. Go to the most recent article. There is one new article related to quality standard and one article related to environment. Must read that article. And once again, I'm going to give you few motivational words. Please do not think that this paper is too much tough. All the way, it's not tough. It's challenging to some extent. It's challenging to some extent. I totally accept this fact. But since this is challenging, so you should put your challenging efforts, you should put your good efforts, right? So if you can pass your skills module, since it might be the last or second last paper, so please motivate yourself. You all have ability. Why the students are demotivated? Because they have listened from all their surroundings. You cannot do this, is very tough. I'm your trainer. I am giving you that you can do it. All the thing is that you don't need to get afraid. You can do it, right? So I did try my level best to provide you as maximum, as much as the information, as much as the time allowed. And then you have to practice by yourself. And don't forget to read, number one, the recent articles uploaded on quality as well as on this climate change. Number two, must also read the most examiner, at least two examiner report. Number three, go to your practice platform in the on the ACCA website. There are four papers: practice exam 1, practice exam 2, specimen exam, and one mock exam. You must need to attempt that thing, those papers. So I really wish you people good luck for your exam, and I really pray that all of you would be passing this AAA exam. All right. Was this webinar series helpful for you? Please leave your independent opinion, the neutral, the correct, the true and fair opinion, right? Was this webinar helpful? I will not be leaving without feedback. Was this helpful? Okay, thank you so much for your feedback. And because feedback is the fuel for the performer, right? Feedback is the fuel. I always encourage every kind of feedback. So I am giving you feedback, since I don't know you people personally, but I'm giving you the feedback that you are good at your study because you have reached at this last paper of ACCA. So you are good, you can perform. And with this motivational words, I'm signing off from this webinar. Have a good day, good night, take care, bye bye.